What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now, I'll be completely straight to the point, straight up. There's two ways, well, there's two methods, there's two truths, two concepts, whatever you want to call it, in order to becoming rich. There's no secret formula, there's no secret sauce, there's no shortcut, there's no myths. It is very, very, very straightforward. There's two things that you need to consider if you want to become rich. There's two ways to get rich successfully. It's slow and steady, but you will win the race. Now I'll get straight to it. The first thing you need to do is to increase your income. Now, the way to do that is to maybe get a promotion, maybe apply for a job or go into a job that's higher paying, maybe take a second job, maybe do a side hustle. Do you mean help out family? If you've got a day job that's Monday to Friday, maybe at the weekend you can help cut grass, you can help maybe pressure washer people's lawns. If you're very skilled as a mechanic or a painter or decorator, you can always help people and increase your income. And the second thing, and these go hand in hand, the second thing to do is to cut your costs. Now, by that I mean, if you're getting a coffee every single day, maybe get one every 2 days or once a week or once every 3 days. Clothing, cut down on your clothing, cut down on buying things that you want. Do you mean before you buy something, just think, do I want this or do I need this? Now, if you need it, then definitely buy it by all means. Do your research, shop around, get the best deal you can because it's something that you need. And maybe for example, for getting to and from work, you need to buy your train tickets, you need to get fuel for your car, things like that. However, when it comes to wants, if you want something, that's really something that young children do. Oh, I want this, I want that. It does not work like that. Think about, put whatever you're going to buy, put it into two categories. I need this or I want this. If you want it, just try and put it off or put off for a later date or maybe save up towards for it in the future. But if it's something that you need, then by all means get it. But the main focus should be to cut your costs as much as you can. That means living below your means. That means not driving a stupid fancy car, just a simple car to get you from A to B. Buying clothes that are very good quality but reasonable in price as well. You don't need to have a designer logo. You don't need to act rich. You don't need to put a badge or a logo in people's faces to show that you've got money in the bank when you probably don't. Do you mean just completely cut your costs? Now, what will happen there is, so you can either have increased income, meaning that you're earning a lot more, but then you're also spending a lot more. Now, you will see people that earn maybe £100,000 a year, but they're actually spending maybe 100, 110, 120,000 pounds a year, meaning although they've got a six-figure income, they're actually spending more than that. So the net overall is that they're losing money per year. These are the people that live paycheck to paycheck. They're not going to be able to save. They won't be able to invest. They won't actually be able to use money to save for retirement and actually increase their net worth, increase their wealth. So that's the problem with a high income and a high expenditure. However, if you've got a high income, say again £100,000 a year, and your expenses for the year are maybe, I don't know, just say £2,000, £3,000 a month, so just say like £25,000 a year, then all in all, at the end of the year, you should have £75,000 after expenses to use for savings, retirement, investments, whatever it may be. But your net worth is every year it will be increasing by £75,000. However, you have to take into consideration compound interest. So that's where you take that £75,000, you pop it into a high yield savings account, and it's actually generating some money for you. So by the end of the year, you may even have £85,000 depending on interest rate and how long you lock it away for. So that's why having a high income and working on increasing your income by doing a second job, doing additional work. Do you mean if you're skilled, then take on additional work, increasing your sales as it were, that's best. And if you can do that alongside with cutting your expenses, then you will have more in your nest, as it were. The other thing is, if you don't have a high income and you've got a high expenditure, then that speaks for itself. You're constantly in debt. Do you mean you're spending more than you actually make, meaning that you're always going to be in the negative, always going to be in the red. You won't have any money to save. You won't have any money to invest. Exactly. So you're in that same situation as having a high income and high expenditure at the end of the year. Like I said, although you earn £100,000, you're spending £120,000. You are at a deficit of £20,000 a year. Exactly the same. If you're earning £50,000 a year and you're spending 100, again, your net overall income is in a deficit of £50,000, and the only way to cover that £50,000 is to again, you either cut that cost, so do you mean by selling the car, getting rid of the car, finding cheaper rent, cutting down on eating out all the time, that sort of thing. But overall, you should be focusing on increasing your income, cutting your cost. And the other situation is, if you've got a low income, say you earn £50,000 a year and you're actually only spending about £10,000 or £15,000 a year, then you're still netting about £35,000, which you can use for investments and savings and pension and retirement and all the rest of it. Now, if you think about it, someone that's earning £100,000 and is only spending about 50,000 a year, they're netting about £50,000 for the year. Exactly the same as if you're earning, for example, £70,000 and you're only spending £20,000. Again, you're netting £50,000 for the year. So although you don't have that six-figure income, the net figure is what you need to focus at. And that's what a lot of people forget, is that it's not all about income. Your income is your strongest wealth building tool. So the more income you have, the more room you have to play with, the more money you have to play with. So increasing your income is definitely the way to go. But if you're what a lot of people do is they're just like, I need a promotion at work, I need more money, I need more this, I need more that. What actually happens is, people that have that habit of spending a lot, if they get an increase in their income, what they do is, rather than having a £1,000 holiday, they'll go for a £1,500 holiday or a £2,000 holiday. If they were looking at a car that's £20,000, they'll be looking at cars that are 30, maybe £40,000, because they have that increased income. They think that they can just go and spend more, but as they increase that expenditure, their net overall income for the year is again in the deficit, or it's a lot lower, although they got that increase. So you need to look at the world in a different way. You need to look at finances in a different way. So if you can get an increase in your income by doing a second job or additional income, by, I mean, you've got some mechanical skills or artwork skills or whatever it may be, you can help someone cut their grass or do Deliveroo or Uber Eats or whatever it may be, and increase that income and keep your expenses low, then overall you'll net some money that will basically help with your wealth building. And then eventually in 10, 15, 20 years time, you will have a substantial amount of money because you've lived below your means, you've kept your expenses low, you've shopped around rather than just renewing things, you've not got subscriptions coming out of your ears. You've cash bought a £5,000, £10,000 car rather than going for an expensive £40,000, £50,000 car and paying £500-600 a month for it. So that's basically a quick video just to say that these are the two things that you need to focus on. A lot of people do focus on just income. Oh, I make £100,000 a year, I make 120, I make 130. That doesn't mean anything. Someone that's making £30,000 or £40,000 a year, if they're only spending £10,000 and making 40, they're still netting £30,000 a year. So someone that's making 100 or £110,000 a year, that's spending £120,000, £130,000 a year, they're not really netting anything, meaning the person that's earning £30,000 a year is actually got more money at the end of the day, meaning that they'll actually be able to invest and save and put towards their retirement and their nest egg. So a lot of people do focus on their income, whereas you need to turn the table around and yes, definitely increase your income as much as you can, second job, whatever it may be, but the main thing you need to look at is what you're spending your money on. Thanks.